What do Labubu and Pokemon collectors have in common? Rushing to order the newest releases as soon as it comes out while battling bots online. Or wrestling people during the early morning so that you can be the first in line to grab the goods on release day. What if I told you there is a better way to solve these issues by tapping into the power of gacha? Lottery and raffles aren't a new concept to try to keep things fair for popular or limited edition products. You might say, Lynn, lotteries won't save us from bots, they'll just keep making new accounts to enter them. What you might not be aware of is the fine prints that tweak the weight of each entry to deter resellers and bots from joining. Here are some of the ones I found across several shops in Japan, and I'm starting to see some of these rules in local shops too. Membership is required to sign up for the lottery. It's a pretty basic thing to ask for, honestly, just so the store can check whether or not a user has multiple accounts with the same address or credit card. Getting into Costco requires a membership card, but these things only work if it's enforced by both the staff and the tech. I've heard so many membership holders looping during the sale of Pokemon card tins, and I can guarantee some of these database systems are not that high-tech or user-friendly to make it just that easier for the shop to set these things up. Shops can ask you to sign up for their app or website in advance of the lottery sales. But in general, it's helpful to save your shipping and billing addresses to one-tap order if you're trying to beat against bots. And for the case of Walmart, don't forget to add a phone number too, or else you'll be slowed down on the confirmation page. I've seen a lot of smaller shops use Google Forms for the signups, but you'll need your membership ID or email address handy so that they can cross-reference their database during the draw. I've seen forms where you have to put in the shipping address that cannot be changed once the draw happens. Amazon has done lotteries for both Japan and UK releases for Pokemon products, but I don't think I've ever seen it for US links. You just click once to apply and they'll release the product in waves, allowing you to purchase it within the time limit, otherwise your spot goes to someone else. You must have phone authentication enabled on your account. Now this is the big one that has affected many foreigners from buying the newest releases off of the Japanese Pokemon Center website. The site has two types of lottery systems. One to queue into the website, and another to apply to purchase for specific products. Previous lottery sales also required a phone number, but I believe this is the first time I heard about it for non-lottery products as well. The phone number required must start with a specific country code, and currently only voice call authentication can be used, meaning no text messages and you must enter the code within the time frame, otherwise they'll just fail. All this just means that you need to be in Japan to use the service. Rightfully so, because international fans couldn't directly order from the site anyway and had to rely on proxy services or knowing someone in the country who could buy and ship it to you. I wish the American Pokemon Center website also had this in place, but only if it's implemented rather than Blizzard's phone authentication. So, in 2022, Overwatch wanted to attach phone numbers to accounts to prevent bots, but many players with cheaper phone service providers or prepaid numbers were just unable to authenticate. Because of this big backlash of how, Blizzard just doesn't want poor people to play even though the game is free to play, blah 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 blah, Blizzard backtracked on this decision, but I think the intent was in a good direction. Many bots or account resellers can just go into a convenience store and buy up dozens of prepaid phone cards just to get around the system if they didn't restrict the numbers. Also, I think it's somehow the telecom overlord's fault for all of these different price tiers anyway. Although, I do feel like the audience will just find something else to complain about if they don't like what's being implemented. You must go in-store to register for the lottery. Oh, GameStop, why did you remove the in-store pre-orders? The reasoning that they gave was so stupid. It was because removing it encourages more foot traffic. Like, how does that work? Instead of straight up accepting in-store pre-orders, some shops offer in-store lottery registrations. You'll have to either ask a staff member or scan the QR code specific to that store to enter. Again, many require a working local phone number so that they contact you to line up the day of the release to purchase the product. And they're pretty specific about what time of day you're allowed to come to the store to buy it. That still feels like a better solution than having to pay a deposit for the pre-order, only to have the item refunded due to lack of allocations, or you just never get a call for pickup. Not that it's happened to me. This is slightly an issue for countries with bigger land masses, and if it's hard to access shops by transit or foot for those who don't drive. It's already an issue for these people during launch days, as you can only pick 1 or 2 places close by to give a try. But if you do all the heavy lifting up front by registering, then you can rest easier until the day to pick up the goods. Even better if the pickup date and times aren't all the same. And that's only if you win a spot though. For existing customers only, within this category there are several further restrictions depending on the shop. The most common is that you must have previously shopped at the store within a certain time frame, and sometimes there's an amount needed too. I've seen time periods like 3 months all the way to a year. I missed out on a shop offering a raffle for the launch of Prismatic Evolutions, so I bought a few singles that I needed anyway so that I can prepare for the next release's raffle. That didn't work out for me though because allocations were so bad for Journey Together they can even do a raffle for it and only accepted walk-ins the day of. Womp womp. Some shops will bump up your odds if you had more than one purchase in your account history. They'll check how frequently the purchases were, so the more you've bought from them, the better it'll be. This doesn't make a lot of sense for some types of shops though. For example, there's an appliance store in Japan that so happens to sell Pokemon cards. But realistically, who is going to be buying multiple fridges in a year? And finally, there's one unique requirement that I've seen when I was researching for this video. You must not have bought only popular items from their shop. So the logic behind this is that you're clearly a reseller if you only buy popular goods, but I think this one does more harm than not. I don't know about you, but I don't have the luxury to just randomly buy unpopular items. If anything, I feel like resellers won't even mind buying lesser popular items if they can just make it back with the money by reselling that and the popular items that they'll get. And the text isn't super clear as to what a popular item even is. Like, do they mean items that previously had a lottery? Or just whatever the shop says is a popular item? I don't know. I don't think gating products behind how many past purchases a customer makes really helps with the problem of resellers or scalpers though. Think about it this way. Resellers would obviously make a lot of purchases in the past, right? You want to keep loyal long-term customers, but this also prevents newer customers from becoming long-term customers. It sucks for us casuals the most because we just like to dabble in and out of hobbies, and it's definitely frustrating getting turned away from multiple shops because of these rules. This also makes it feel very similar to the way distributors in the West allocate products to stores. Depending on your physical store's purchase history and what kinds of products you've bought, distributors will then give you a percentage of the popular product that they think you deserve. Sounds familiar, huh? But I think some of these ideas aren't half bad, even if it makes it hard to get region-locked goods. A big push towards buying other languages for Pokemon cards in the first place was because of how unobtainable it was to get stuff locally. I just wish that more stores improved their queuing systems for both online and in-store. No one wants to stand outside in the cold for 3 hours just to potentially get distributed one product. Only stand outside in the cold for 3 hours when you win a spot. The downside for lotteries is the obvious what happens if you don't get picked and how much each restriction actually affects your chances of getting a spot. Entering them for 10 different shops still doesn't guarantee you'll be able to buy anything, but I still think it's better than getting instantly beaten up by bots who can scrape the URLs faster than you can blink. And most of these shops will also attach like a tamper-proof sticker or even slash the product wrapping right in front of you when you go to purchase it, making it harder for resellers to sell the sealed product as is. It doesn't help much with resellers who open up the product anyway and sell the individual boxes or packs, but it's something to lower the value of reselling sealed products. Even without lotteries, we're starting to see attempts at better bot prevention tactics being used by online shops. Sharing a passcode at the time of launch so that the high listing price reduces back to MSRP, while tricking bot scrapers. IP detection to block multiple browser tabs from checking out at once, or infamously hard captchas that destroy humans from checking out, but the bots can still pass. Okay, maybe not everything is working as is, but I did say there were attempts. Whatever you do though is not give in to scalper pricing. There will always be the next new shiny thing that everyone will have their eyes on. How else did Genshin make $5 billion in 2024, huh? If you liked watching this video, check out this one about getting product as a content creator, or this one that's recommended for you. I stream pack openings for TCGs like Pokemon on Twitch, and if you want to support the channel, consider joining the membership or other ways listed in the description box below. Bye for now!